Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be using the new Lisa Eldridge Fawn palette. So if you wanted to see what I think about this palette and how I got this look, then just keep on watching. Hello! Okay, so I'm going to start with my contour. I did my foundation. I'm using the Fenty foundation, the Soft Lit foundation in the shade 150. And I'm also using obviously the Cali Ray So Blown primer, and then I used my Huda Cherry Blossom Faux Filter Corrector, and then I used the Westman Atelier concealer, and I have the shade, I can't remember, but I will list it or I'll link it. I think it's number 2, Atelier 2, and then I'm wearing the Pat McGrath Labs Baby Pink Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Blurring Under Eye Powder. And that's it. And then, sorry, that's not it, apparently. And then the MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. So we're going to go in with the Dior Forever Skin Contour in the shade 01 Light. And we'll just go... Don't mind this. I have an issue picking my face. Every time I see Amelia, I need to get that sucker out of there. And every time I create a mess. So I'm trying not to pick it and irritate it further or scar anything. So I'm just leaving it be. But doesn't that drive you crazy when you see it and you're like, oh, I want to get it out? Drives me nuts. So happy Thanksgiving to all my Canadian friends. If you celebrate Thanksgiving. We had our family dinners this weekend already. So today we just have a nice chill day. Nice long weekend. So it's Monday today. And yeah, we're just taking her easy. My husband is gone to get a haircut and go grocery shopping, and then his friends were talking about that with him at hockey. They're like, you do the grocery shopping? Like, they thought that was the weirdest thing, that he goes grocery shopping. Is that weird? I don't know what it is, but I hate grocery shopping. I hate it. Like, I'll do it, but he doesn't even like when I go do it because I spend too much. He's like, how do you manage? Like, he can spend $100 a week and be fine. And I'll spend like $140 when I go. He's like, how does this happen? So I think he actually prefers that I don't do it because I'm not as thrifty as he is. So I'm just like, yeah, whatever, I'll get this, I'll get that, blah, blah, blah. And it shows. So I think we're going to go in with this again, and we'll just do it on the nose here. I could not smell this ever, like when I'm putting it on my face, but when I'm putting it on my nose, obviously, I can tell that it has a smell to it. So if you're thinking about getting this and you don't like fragranced products, like I can't smell it when I'm putting it just on my forehead and stuff. But yeah, if you're not a fan of fragrance, you might not enjoy that. It's not like super overwhelming, but it's there. So I just saw that Natasha Denona is dropping another palette. I'm like, can we take a rest? Like, I know it's exciting, but I was just thinking I'm not interested in any of the holiday palettes. Then Patrick Ta's dropping these duos. Makeup by Mario just dropped the Ethereal Eyes Moonlight palette. And of course, it's limited edition. Why? We don't know. Stop doing that. Like, I know they do it to like get a buzz and be like, yes, limited edition, get it now. But yeah, I noticed the other Ethereal Eyes is gone again. I thought it was still there, but nope. Gone again. So I'm glad I got it when it released. And then yeah, Natasha has this Roxa, I think, which you can tell is going to be a purple. I think Roxa in another language is purple. So I haven't seen it yet, but she just dropped like a preview, and it's all you see is purple, and then the palette starts opening and then you don't see anything after that. But I think she's showing it tomorrow. But I think that could be one that I'm gonna skip. I also said that about the Warm palette. But I just know purple is not something I'm gonna reach for on a regular basis. And the Makeup by Mario one, I will, because it's neutrals and cool tones. So, okay, good enough. And we're gonna go in with a bronzer. It's like I'm trying to switch it up for you because I use this all the time, but I don't know what to use. Maybe we'll go in with the House Labs. Are they getting rid of this? What's happening? Also, I meant to do this on my chinny chin chin. For my little double chin here. I always notice it in videos. I'm like, why didn't I contour my chin? What I love about this contour stick is it's just so easy to blend. You could blend it in no time. Better. Okay. Let's go in with the bronzer. So I have a light level 2. Looks like this one isn't on the website. I think they're just sold out though. But someone had mentioned, I think someone, I can't remember which creator I was watching, and they said that they thought maybe they were getting rid of these because online there weren't any shades, but maybe they're just sold out because it looks like in Canada we still have a ton of the shades. There's just a couple missing, which I assume is because they're sold out. But why does Sephora do that all of a sudden? They just don't show it anymore. Instead of saying email or text for notifications, it's just gone. It's like, how am I supposed to get notifications when it's back in stock? Guess you just have to keep checking. I don't know. Seems weird. So weird to me when companies do things like for the worse. You're like, why? What? Why? I watched this super cute video from Hannah Louise again. Yes, I'm talking about her again. She did like a 3-hour video on, I didn't watch the entire thing, but I watched while she was talking about like the eyeshadow palettes because that's what I was most interested in. But fluff. But yeah, she did this super cute eye look and she ordered the shade, I guess she ordered shades from the Sorcery palette, which I only liked like 2 of the shades from the Sorcery palette, and those were the ones that she ordered, and they came shattered, but she's like, whatever, she just pressed them back together. Anyway, one of the shades she compared to Cleona. So I was like, oh, well, I'll just get it from Cleona because the shipping and the conversion and everything from Lisa Eldridge is just actually ridiculous. And then you have to pay so much in duties, and it's just like, I don't know. For me, it's not worth it to order from her site. And I really wish I would have ordered one of those, what's it called? One of those liquid shadows, because I was thinking about getting one. I'm like, oh, I'll just get it another time. And then I'm like, why did I do that? If you're going to order stuff, order it all together, because it's going to cost you an arm and a leg to just keep doing like multiple orders. Anyway, so I was looking at this Cleona shade because it was a dupe for one of the shades from the Sorcery palette. But shipping is more expensive. It's so annoying when you're in Canada. Shipping is more expensive than the actual product. Like the eyeshadow that I wanted was $11. And then shipping is $17. I'm like, I could see if shipping was $10. That's like a normal, you know, round amount, but $17? That seems like a lot. Okay, so we got our bronzer on. We're gonna go in with one of the newer, it's not new, it's not a new blush, it's Petal, but Baby Cheeks, is this the one? Yeah, Petal from this set, the Western Atelier, like the mini set. I'm going with Petal here. And I said to a subscriber that I would do my eyebrows on camera. I'll do one, and then, yeah, just because I said I would, but just a warning, I'm not an eyebrow pro. That is like my least, that's where I struggle the most, honestly. When it comes to makeup, I've never mastered my brows. I feel like they're better than they were when I go back to old videos. I'm like, they were so thick. What was I thinking? Definitely had brow blindness, that's for sure. My husband's like, I tried to tell you. He's like, I would tell you when they were too thick. And I'm like, yes, I know, but I don't listen to you. Just when I go back now and see pictures or videos, I'm like, whoa. So yeah, I'm no eyebrow pro. So that is Petal. And we're gonna go over that with, I think, Gucci. Because this is kind of like a nice, kind of cool toned pinky shade. So I think we're gonna go over it with Gucci Rosy Beige. One of my faves. And I really love this shade too. I used in one of my last videos. Mimi. So pretty. They're very tiny for the amount of money that they are. I'll just say that. But I feel like I have so many blushes that it's fine. I wouldn't go through a whole one anyway, probably. So, Rosy Beige. So it's basically the exact same color. It's just kind of setting down that. I don't feel like these are tacky. Like, they don't really need to be set down, but just because I'm a crazy person, I always do set them down anyway. But you don't need to, is what I'm saying. Yes, I have a little blush blindness too, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. Okay, so we're gonna go over that with, I'm trying to decide which highlight to use. I'm trying to switch it up a little bit. I've been using this one quite a bit, so maybe we'll go in with the Champagne Glow. I used to use this all the time, like literally every single time I would do my makeup. And I kind of forgot about it, so pretty. But I heard those Patrick Ta eyeshadows are like something crazy. I haven't seen them, so like don't quote me on this, but somebody was saying they were $48 US, which means they're gonna be like $60 here for 2 eyeshadows. I can get your whole palette for, I don't know, 90 bucks. 2? I think that's just a little bit, I don't know. I don't like when they do that. I feel like that's like ripping your customers off a little bit. You know, for 2 eyeshadows. I feel like they take advantage because they're like, oh, it's limited edition. I think they're limited, I would assume, because it's a holiday launch. But yeah, it's just like, okay, so you're going to take advantage because it's holiday and they're limited. And people will probably pay that price. I mean, maybe it's smart. I don't know. Anyways, let's get to the star of the show. This is the Lisa Eldridge Fawn palette. So we have, well, I'll take it out first. Same packaging as her other palettes. I believe 2 of them are discontinued. I think the palette, the Cinnabar palette, this is what it looks like. And I think there was a purpley one, and I think that one got discontinued as well. And I think she's bringing out 2 more palettes aside from this one. But this is what we're looking like. And I will swatch them. So we have Burnt Clove, which is a seamless matte, which is this shade right here. And then the second one is Supernaturally, which is also a seamless matte. This one here. Sorry. Trying not to show you what I'm seeing in the mirror here. And then we have White Tie, which is a luminous shade. And then we have Upper West Side, which is this guy here. This is more like a beigey kind of tan shade. Sorry, Upper West Side is a velvet. So that's kind of like that creamy texture. I think it's a little bit harder to pick up on a brush, which sucks because that's actually my favorite shade. But anyways, Debutante, which is a satin duo. So it's like a duo, like a flip. There's a flip to it. And then Dorian, which is a luster, which is this one here. So I will show you what those look like. And I will do a comparison to my other palette if I can find it. What the heck? Here it is. This is the Vega palette. So I'll show you them together. This one is Very Well Loved. This is Vega. And this is Fawn. Honestly, I did not need this, but I kept watching videos. This is where I get in trouble, watching the videos. And that's when I want everything. Vega is like one of my absolute favorite palettes. But yes, that one shade, the shade here, French Gray, you can see it's not hard pan, but it's like, you can see what's happening to them. It's almost like, Hannah described it best. It's like pushing into the pan, but it's not hard pan. You can still pick it up on a brush, but they are harder to pick up. So I will swatch these. I'm actually just gonna go wash my hands because I don't want to get them all oily, but I will be right back. Okay, so we will swatch Fawn first. So we'll go in with Burnt Clove. Very dark brown. And then we'll go in with Supernaturally. This one almost looks a little bit warm. In the pan, it doesn't look warm. It looks cool, but then this beautiful one, White Tie. That's the Luminous shade. And then we have Upper West Side, which is one of my favorites. I obviously love tan eyeshadow. But yeah, again, a little bit harder to pick up. Okay. Just clean my fingers off here. Then we have Debutante. People were most excited about this shade. This is a shade I'm least excited about because I don't know, that kind of pinky shade is not really my jam. But actually, I can tell you exactly what that reminds me of. And it's one of the Charlotte Tilbury palettes that came out. I think it was the something Pearl, Celestial Pearl maybe. But that reminds me a lot of that shade. You can see it's kind of like a gold pinky flip. And then we have Dorian, which is a luster. This one looks very pretty, actually. And Dorian. So those two are pretty close to each other. So that's Dorian and Burnt Clove. This one's definitely more like black. But that's what we're looking like. And then I will compare to Vega. I kind of screwed it up here. Maybe I'll get rid of that shade and then do it again, Dorian. Put it here instead. Okay, so there we have all 6 of them. And then I'll go in with Vega and show you those guys. Just cleaning my fingers off here. Okay, so we'll first go in with French Gray. I was going to buy another French Gray and I should have, but I didn't. But I should have. So this is French Gray right here. Definitely more cool tone for sure. I should have probably swatched it next to that one, but there's no real comparison with that shade. And then we have Smoke and Mirrors, which is that bluey tone. I love that shade. And then we have Moon Swirl, yeah, which is a metallic. And then we have Turbulence. Just want to make sure my hands are dry here. I think that one's a matte. Turbulence is a seamless matte, yes. There. Probably most comparable to this guy here, which is Supernatural. And then I love this one. I wear this one in my inner corner quite a bit, Supernova. So similar to White Tie, but more pink, I would say. This one here, this is more white, this is more pink. And then this black shade, which is Lamp Black, I believe. Yes, the Seamless Matte. So not super similar, but I can definitely see some similarities. I feel like they would actually work beautifully together. Like if this was a whole palette, oh, beauty. What it does remind me of, more so than that one, would be, is it, I'm trying to think of which palette that is. It's my Hermes palette. Let's see. Not really. I thought maybe this was close, but not really. This is Ombre Fumée. Okay, well, maybe not that one. But what else? Is it Burberry? it's the Burberry palette. I can't find it now, but I feel like I'll definitely get more use out of this than the Burberry palette. I actually don't really use that one that much. So yeah, those are the shades. I'm gonna go get a cloth and rinse these off, but I do think they are quite beautiful. Yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, I found it. They're actually not that similar. This is the Burberry Quad. The shade, for some reason, I thought was more taupey. It's really not. It's like, it's shiny. There. Right there. I might sell this. I might sell it on my Poshmark. So if you're interested, might be going up on there pretty soon. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I'm done leaving now. Okay, so I think we'll go in with, let's go in with a blending brush here. We'll go in with, what's the shade name again? Upper West Side, this like tan shade here. That will be our crease shade. I believe these are natural hair bristles in the, I didn't know that when I bought them, but the Makeup by Ariel brushes, this is just the number A20, 20? Yeah. And I think this type of shadow, that like creamy matte type shadow, what is the actual? The Velvet. Like they're all pretty creamy mattes. It's almost like the Natasha Denona Cream to Powders. But I feel like the Velvets, especially like the French Gray and this shade here, they're a little bit harder to pick up. So I think they're easier to pick up with a natural haired brush. But you do have to kind of go back in and like layer it up a little bit. And if you go to Night Star Beauty, Maria, she actually did a very beautiful look using this palette. I feel like Vega is going to be very similar. Like there will be a lot of shade comparisons in the Moonlight palette. I think it'll be like just a bigger version of Vega, which I'm excited for because like I said, I'm obsessed with Vega. I wear that all throughout winter. Okay, so we'll go in with a little bit of a smaller brush here and we'll go in with, I think, Supernaturally. So this is just a Morphe brush, the M15, and Supernaturally is that one in the middle there. And I'm just gonna go a little bit lower in the crease here. I definitely don't think you need to pay this amount for these types of shades. Like I think these are definitely shades that are existing. Like you could find a lot of similar shades to this. I think it's just if you want it specifically from Lisa Eldridge and you love these textures, then I think that would be where you would pay the little bit more money. But like Hannah said in her video, this is an old video, like I think it's over a year old. You're not gonna get those like Pat McGrath type looks with these palettes. It's more like a Chanel, Dior, like a soft, kind of pretty, kind of classy look. I think I'm gonna use this shade here, which is, was that Clove? Nope, that's Dorian. We're gonna go with Dorian just onto like, this is a dual-ended brush, the Naked brush. And we're gonna just go right along the lash line. You know what brush I want so bad? But again, I just am too cheap to actually buy it. Is it's either like Wayne Goss has a brush like this, and so does Refer. But like, I want a synthetic brush, and I think those are both natural, but I'm looking for a pointy kind of like detailing brush. I want this, but pointy, because I want to be able to, like, when Sophia does her makeup, Sophia Sees Beauty, that brush like changes everything. That brush can really like detail the outer corner, and something like this is just too fat to do that with. And I actually have a good, oh, is this the one that I was looking for? This one is not bad for that. This is a Real Techniques brush. This is a, oh, it is the detailer brush. I'm actually going to use that instead. And I'm just going to go along the lash line with that. So it's a little bit bendy, but I want that brush. Because I feel like everyone just does these like precise looks with that kind of pointy blending brush. I did it on the eye that I hate. This eye sucks because it's like, it always looks patchy. It's actually not. I think it's just where my bone is. But this one always looks patchy, like right here. I think like my bone just protrudes more right there. But that's what we're looking like so far. Again, it's nothing revolutionary. You could definitely get this with other palettes, but there is something that I just love about Lisa's palettes. Now, I don't really want to use this shade because I don't want my look to be pink, but I was going to show you the comparison between that and this one. Like, if I'm specifically going for that type of look, I want to do like a soft, all kind of pinky brown. I feel like it's kind of close to this one and this one. Okay, so you could see what I mean. Like, this is the shade from Lisa Eldridge. This is Charlotte Tilbury. So it's basically like, this is another one from Charlotte too. So this shade right here has that like pinky gold flip. You can see if I move it in certain lights. So I'll show you what Charlotte's looks like. Oh, why can't I? Did it disappear? Okay, so this is Charlotte Tilbury. This is that one with the flip from Charlotte Tilbury. I'm just going to do it a little bit harder here. There we go. And then the bottom one is Lisa Eldridge, but I will put a deeper swatch there too. So very, very similar in tone, these two. These bottom two. I feel like Lisa's is a little bit more pink and Charlotte's is maybe a little bit more gold, but very similar shades. I'm like, why do I recognize this shade? And that's why. So, yes. Okay, so now I think I'm not going to use that pink shade. I'm going to go in with White Tie. And I'm just going to tap it in the middle of the lid. Like, I don't want it to be overwhelming, but I want you to be able to see it. So what I like to do is just go in with my finger, tap off a little bit of the excess, and just put it in the middle of my lid. And I think we'll go in with a eyeliner, but I want to do brown, I think. Sorry. Whiskey whiskey. Whiskey's gonna add a tiny bit of warmth, I think, in there. And then, shoot, I actually wanted to use that burnt clove shade for eyeliner. So maybe I'll go in with burnt clove and just kind of deepen that outer corner a bit. But on the eye, Dorian and burnt clove are very much the same. I'll go back in with the blending brush and Upper West Side, that tan shade. And I'm just going to bring it up a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna do the exact same thing on the other eye. Actually, I'm gonna go in the inner corner again with that white tie shade and just kind of tap it in the inner corner. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, put some mascara on, and then I'm gonna decide if I wanna go under the eye with that because I'm not sure yet. So I will be right back. Okay, so I just did the eyes. I think I might leave it as is, I think. We'll see. So I'm gonna go in with my new fave, Grays. Guys, I need to get rid of these. My tech neck, what do? I use creams on my neck, but I've always had a very liney neck. It's bothering me. Maybe I'll just wear turtlenecks all the time. I noticed the shade is still sold out on Sephora Canada, but I'm sure you could get it on the actual MAC site. But I know Stone sells out quite often, so this one might be like that. Like I mentioned in my last video, Stone is supposed to be a little bit more purple, and this one has a little bit more brown in it. And I'm gonna go in with, I think, the Laura Mercier lipstick in Chantilly Lace. The scent on this lipstick is so strong. And it's pretty drying. It goes on creamy. It goes on creamy, but it's like it accentuates all the little dry areas on my lips, which I don't need accentuated. It's a pretty color though. I still haven't seen that other one. What's it called? Nude Sateen, I think. Interested to see that one. So I'm gonna go in, I think, a little bit with this Sephora Collection Cream Lip Stain, number 32. I believe this is Iced Latte. Yeah. Just a little bit in the center. I am starving Marvin right now. Okay, so that's the lips. We'll go on to the brows. I don't know, do I want to put the eyeshadow underneath the eye too? Is it too plain? I don't know, I kind of just want to leave it. Okay, so I always start with this guy. I'll probably just do one brow because, I don't know, you probably don't need to see both. So this is the 24-hour brow setter from Benefit. It's getting a little bit dry. Ugh, there's so many things that I keep thinking I need to pick up for the sale, but it's like, I need to start saving money. I have to get a couple crowns done. And that's not cheap. I have to do it before the end of the year because of my coverage. And then Christmas is gonna be heavy duty. So it's like I want to buy some things. I want to buy some stuff that I need to replenish. Like I'm out of my Paula's Choice, the BHA, which I need to replenish. I need to replenish this. And my mascara. I just have a mini right now of the Huda. Okay, so now when it's like a little bit wet, I'll go in with whatever pencil I'm using. I'll go in with the spoolie and just kind of set them in the place that I want them and get out any excess product. So now it's looking weird because you can see there's a huge space right there, but that's fine. So I'll go in with, I need to let that dry a little bit, so I will go on my other brow with this. And I just kind of flip the brush over as I'm using it, just to add a tiny bit more of the product and really just like set the brows down. Sometimes for some reason this brow, maybe it's the way I'm holding it, I'm not sure, it gives me issues right around this area. They start to clump together a little bit in that area. I'm wondering if I should, try the Makeup by Mario one again. I used to really like that one. Or if I should try Too Faced has one, I believe, that's supposed to be really good. But then it's like, ugh, every time I switch, I don't like them. But I do know I liked the Mario one. This one here. I think it's like completely dried out. The Master Hold Brow Gel. Just looks like this. It's pretty massive. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's dried out. But Patrick Ta is a really good one too. So those are like the three that I really liked. I don't mind the Anastasia one. It's just, there's too much product on the brush. Like I really should use that one before I buy another one. But it's like, if I can choose between the two, I'll always use this one over that one. Okay, so I make sure to stick up my brows. And then I leave them kind of dry a little bit. So this one's gonna be wet. Actually, I noticed this, the edge. See, there's always like issues with the end of the tail here. So I'm just gonna go back in just a teeny tiny bit right at the edge here and stick them out a little bit. There we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave that one for a minute. And I'm gonna go in with my pencil, which is the CoverGirl 1mm Nano Pencil, the Clean Fresh Brow, and it's in the shade Blonde. And then I just fill in the bottom part here. This is what I hate though, you know when it gets like shiny and you can't get rid of that? Sometimes that just means you just used a little too much product. I don't like that shininess because it looks fake. But again, I'm not a brow pro, so take this with a grain of salt. So then I just go in the front and just fill it out a little bit more. I'm not pressing hard. I'm trying not to press hard because I don't want it to be too harsh in the front. And then you just fill in all the little sparse areas here. And then I will go in with a tiny bit of my powder by Anastasia. I feel like the powder helps a little bit with that shininess. So I filled in just a tiny bit. But again, I don't want them to look too harsh, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. And then go in with this powder, the Duo in the shade Taupe. And I go in both shades. I feel like the one shade is a little bit too light and then the other one might be a little bit dark, so I just kind of dip in both and then just fill in any of those areas. And then you can see I still have like a space here. So that's where I have to go in with the pen because like nothing is really covering that. So I go in with the Maybelline Build-A-Brow, the 2-in-1, and I believe this is soft brown. Oop. And I'm just going in to fill in those little areas that just like were not being covered. And then I just kind of add a little bit of a tail there. I'm trying not to go in too harsh with this because the pen is always what gets me in trouble. I start doing little hair strokes and then things go out of control. But I think we're gonna stop there as I continue. Okay, so we're gonna stop. And I'm gonna go do the same thing on the other eyebrow and I will be back. Okay, just to show you, I filled it in. You could still see a little bit of that shine, but it's better than it was. So that's the one brow. All right, so they're a little bit darker than I usually want to go with them. This one looks better than this one, but anyway. Yeah, so that is the eye look using the Lisa Eldridge Fawn palette, and I really like it. Do I think it's necessary? No, but if you love Lisa's formula, I think that you will really enjoy it, and I do really like it, and I'm not mad that I have it, but I don't know if I'll be getting any of her newer ones, but I do think it is very pretty. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon. Bye.